Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. So, first of all, my neighbors are upstairs having like a brunch or something. So if it gets a little loud and y'all hear stuff, that's what that is. So y'all see the title of this talk. Go ahead and tag people in it. This is definitely something that you want to share. So last night, me and one of my girlfriends were having a conversation about, healing family traumas and things like that, especially with Black men, right? And in the Black community, and how the reason why a lot of Black love relationships don't last long is because most of us are walking around with wounds of, the mother and the father. And that a lot of times we are working on healing things, but we're not looking at our childhood. I know so many people who are in healing, who are in the healing phase and in the healing process, but they will not say a bad word about their mother and their father. And when I dig a little bit deeper and ask them questions about what it is that they feel like they need to heal, they will begin to tell me, well, sometimes, my mom would say this to me, or, her and my dad would never really speak to each other, but they would talk to us and things like that. You know what I mean? And so they're wondering why they're not able to carry out healthy relationships, or why they're not able to create the life that they want to live, or why they're having money issues, or why they're having weight issues or health issues. And most of the time in the Black community, we don't want to speak against our parents. We don't want to say a bad word about our mamas, especially the Black men. They don't want to say a bad word about their mama. My mama, oh yeah, my mama had her issues, but she beat me and everything, but she had to do that because I was bad. Or she did the best that she could. She was just trying to protect me when she told me that I couldn't do X, Y, and Z because she didn't want to see me get hurt. She didn't want me to be disappointed. Share this video, because this is something that we are taught in the Black community. You better respect your mother. You better respect your father. You don't talk bad about your parents. Okay? And I'm here to say, fuck your mother and your father. Fuck them. And the reason why I'm saying fuck your parents is because until you can move into a space of where you're saying, fuck y'all for doing X, Y, and Z. I'm mad as shit that you did X, Y, and Z to me. Until you can get angry and speak that shit out and vent it out of your nervous system, out of your heart, out of your mind, out of your mouth. Speak that shit out. Speak the truth. Stop trying to sugarcoat what the fuck happened to you. Now, everybody's parents didn't do a horrible job. You know what I'm saying? But for the ones that did, for the ones that fucked you up, fuck them. It's okay to say that until you get into a space where you are angry enough and your back is up against the wall and you are tired of dealing with the bullshit. You're never going to truly connect with the type of healing that you need in order for you to have forward movement and taking action in your life, especially when it comes to love relationships. Stop trying to wrap that shit in love and light. You angry. If you really sit and think about the things that you've been through with your parents, you're fucking pissed. Admit that you're pissed. It wasn't until I actually sat down, and you don't have to say this to your parents. I ain't telling you to disrespect your parents. What I'm saying is, in the quiet of your own space, in the quiet moments with yourself, it's okay for you to get angry. And it wasn't until I said, you know what? I fucking hate my mother. I hate that bitch because she did X, Y, and Z. She did not do X, Y, and Z. And that is the reason why I am having to deal with this shit now. I fucking hate her ass. Fuck you, bitch. I hope you die. I wrote it out. I screamed it out. I cried it out. And then I fucking burned the shit that I wrote. And then I replaced it with loving words. I'm sorry that you felt the need I'm sorry that you felt like you had to handle me that way because nobody taught you better. I'm sorry that that happened to you. I'm sorry that you didn't grow up with the emotional intelligence that you needed as a child. And I did it for both of my parents. But you got to get angry. You have to tell the truth. In the Black community, we don't speak the truth about our parents, especially if you were raised in the church. I've had people tell me, that's your mother, girl. Don't talk like that. That's your mother. You supposed to respect your mother. No, bitch, I'm not living a lie. I'm not living a fucking lie. I'm going to be truthful and honest about how I feel about the treatment that I received from my parents when I was growing up. They didn't abuse me or beat me or any of that shit. They just weren't fucking around because they had to deal with their own demons. They were young and they were dealing with their own shit, right? But the amount of shit and heaviness that it put on me and the amount of shit that I have had to uncover just to get where I am without the help of any fucking body, that shit pissed me the fuck off. And it wasn't until I got super angry and was able to voice that. And I voiced it to my mother too. She know. I voiced it to her. But you don't have to do that if you don't feel comfortable with doing it or if your parents are not around for you to do that. You don't have to do that. But my mother gave me the space to do that because she understood that that's what I needed. And my mother is the bomb. I have an amazing mother. But she definitely had to go through her shit. You know what I'm saying? She had to go through her shit because somebody didn't give her what she needed. So she wasn't able to give me what I needed at the time that I needed it in the crucial moments in my childhood, right? So I'm not the only one, and that's the reason why I'm having this conversation today, because a lot of us want to glorify and put our parents high up on a pedestal but we're still fucked up. We got issues, right? We're not able to have healthy, long-lasting love, romantic partnerships. Money comes and then it goes and it slips through our fingers, right? We're having health issues. We'll drop the weight and then we gain it right back. Because we're not looking at the origin. The point of origin is your childhood. I don't care how you want to cloak it and cover it and put your blindfolders on. Take the shit off and look at it for what it is. This is not for everybody, but for the ones that it applies to, I'm hoping that you're listening to this. I'm not trying to tell everybody in the world that you got mommy and daddy issues. I'm not saying that every person has mommy and daddy issues. But I am saying that if you have issues that you have not been able to clear and overcome, and you're not living the life that you want to live, things are not happening the way you want them to happen, you need to revisit the point of origin. You need to revisit your childhood. Because that's where you first learned how to interact. That's where you first learned how to have a relationship of any kind. A relationship with money, a relationship with your body, a relationship with food, a relationship with a man, a woman. How to be friends with people. There's people in this world, there's women who don't like other women. Why don't you like another woman? There are men who don't like women. They hate women. Why do you hate women? There are women who hate men. There are men who hate men. There are people living in their physical bodies and they hate their own bodies. Why do you hate your own body? Why do you hate who you are? Why do you hate the opposite sex? Why do you hate another race or another color of a person or another group of people? Why do you hate them? It didn't just happen. You weren't born that way. You were taught to feel this way. You were taught to think this way about yourself. You were taught fear. You were taught to be afraid to have your heart broken. You were taught to be afraid to not have your needs met. You were taught to be codependent. It's a learned behavior, and you can unlearn all behaviors. You can unlearn belief systems. You can undo these things. These things are not permanent. But in order for you to truly make a change, you're going to have to get honest with yourself, and you have to look at your life. And some of you are like, yeah, I recognize that my parents had a lot to do with it. Yeah, I know that. But have you ever really gotten to the point where you say, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad, fuck both of y'all. Y'all get on my fucking nerves. I hate you. Have you ever moved yourself into that space? Because let me tell you something about rage and anger. It is a powerful, powerful energy to work with. Why do you think they got places where you can go break glasses and break plates and shit? Why do you think they have gun ranges? Why do you think they have all of these places where you can have outlets to release anger and rage? Some of y'all are walking around with so much pent up aggression and anger inside of you because you've never fucking released it. You're told to just have us be always in this space of peace and love and light and just be forgiving and loving and, just recognize that they went through pain too. You can do that shit after you get to the point of fuck you. Fuck you. It's okay to go there. It is okay to go there. In order for you to get on the other side of it, you need to go there first. Because if you're trying to go through it, in a lie, you got all this pent up fucking rage inside of you, but you're trying to approach it from a place of love, it's not going to work. Because you're not acknowledging all the parts of yourself. You're not acknowledging the truth of how you really feel. When you get angry with this man because he ain't called you, you ain't heard from him in a couple of days, you ain't mad at him. You're mad at you. You're mad at somebody in your life that told you that that's how you're supposed to be treated. That is the level of expectancy. Because now your magnet is drawing in the energy to give you the opportunity to look at where it came from so you can fucking change it and stop having the same experience over and over and over and over and over again. So you're not really mad at him. You're mad at, maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your father, maybe it was your brother, maybe it was your sister, maybe it was your uncle, whoever the fuck showed you that example of how you're supposed to be treated, set you up to expect that level of treatment. And that's what you're attracting. And until you get mad and angry and say, fuck you for doing that shit to me, then you're able to say, okay, I forgive you because somebody probably showed you that and you didn't know. You just showed me what you just did, what you could do. Get angry. It's okay. You ain't got to go slap them and cuss them out to their face. But be honest. And sometimes being honest means having an honest fucking reaction, having an honest emotion about something. Because the more you suppress it and push it down and push it down and push it down, the more it is going to come out in your everyday life. It's going to come out in your relationships. It's going to come out in the way you treat your body. If you have an autoimmune deficiency, if you have an autoimmune disorder, guess what? Your body is attacking itself because there's a level of self-hatred and anger up in there that you have not yet dealt with. That's why your body is attacking itself. And that self-hatred is misdirected anger. Because you can't say what you want to say to the person who did it to you. 9 times out of 10, the person that did it to you is your mama and your daddy. And it wasn't always in the most outright overt way. Sometimes it was just a manipulation tactic they used. Sometimes the way they said something, or sometimes it was the fact that they just didn't do something on purpose just to give you a hard lesson. And that shit made you angry. But because they're your parents, you can't say anything about it. So you internalize the anger, and guess what? Your body is like, what? Bitch, fuck you. You gonna do this to us? Now I'm gonna attack your ass. It's important to understand how your body works and how your emotions work. If you do not understand this, you're going to kill yourself. If you do not understand this, you're going to kill everything that you claim you want to manifest. You're going to murder it because you are not letting it out. Sometimes you got to get in your car and scream at the top of your fucking lungs and do something with that energy. Do something with it. Create something from it. Get mad. Get angry. Let this shit out. Stop holding it in. Who are you trying to protect? Who protected you? The very person you're trying to protect from expressing your anger is the very person who didn't protect you, who didn't look out for you. They didn't. And it's okay for you to be pissed off about that. But trying to sugarcoat it because your mama ain't here no more, because your daddy ain't here no more. Trying to sugarcoat it and act like everything, oh, they did the best they could. My mama was so, she was so, But you know what? Sometimes your mama got drunk on the weekends and cussed you out, cussed your daddy out in front of y'all, emasculated him. Sometimes your auntie was so high that she would just tell your mama and daddy business in front of the whole family. Come on, y'all. Y'all know how the shit goes in our families. And this ain't just black families. This is all families. Okay? If you had any kind of dysfunction in your household, whether it was overt or whether it was subtle, it is time to face that shit. It is time to look at it, for real look at it. We are living in a time right now where it is not going to be beneficial to you to stay in a state of illusion. It's just not going to be beneficial to you. It's not. A lot of people are afraid to go back down that route. They don't even want to tap into it. They don't even want to remember it. They don't want to feel it. Now, listen, this is the other thing. If you don't remember, don't go dredging up memories if it's not time for you to remember it. I get so many people saying, listen, I can't remember certain parts of my childhood and I just want to remember what happened to me. And I'm telling you that your mind did you a big old favor by hiding that shit. Now, when it is time for you to deal with it, you will know when it's time to deal with it. You will get flashes of memories. They will resurface on their own. But to go in and try to dredge that up, I highly suggest you not do that. Unless you are working with a licensed mental health professional who has tools to assist in the event something is triggered, in the event a psychosis is triggered. Because sometimes that's what happens when you go trying to dredge up old memories that your mind hid because it was too traumatic for you. Your mind works to protect you against things, okay? That's what fear does. Fear is a protector. Stop shitting on fear. Understand fear's purpose and use it as a tool and understand what it is there for. Understand your emotions. Embrace them. Face them. Don't be afraid of it. People talk shit about fear all the time, and I'm like, fear is not your enemy, honey. Fear is there to show you, hey, I'm trying to protect you from something. Take a look at this. If it's coming from you, it's a part of you. So if you're calling it the enemy, you're calling yourself an enemy. Okay? So let's get back to confronting our mothers and our fathers. Do you have to say it to their face? No, you don't. Energy is energy, honey. You can connect with your folk through the spirit realm, soul to soul. I go over that in the what is it? The Healing the Parental Bloodline class. But we are living in a time right now, especially during this Scorpio season. This is the time for you to get down and dirty and gritty with your shadow work. And it's not going to feel good. It's going to be shit you don't feel like dealing with. But if you are having any kind of opposition right now, or you're not seeing things unfold the way you want them to unfold, you're feeling off, out of balance, whatever, it is time to look at that shit. It's time to deal with it. Because see, it's one thing to say, oh, this is the issue right here. This happened to me. Okay, now that you recognize it, now what you going to do about it? About 90% of the population can tell you why they're having certain experiences in their life right now. 90% of the population can say, yeah, well, you know, my mom, my dad, they did me this way or whatever. This happened in my childhood, or my teacher said this to me. They can tell you. And if they can't tell you flat out with the right line of questioning, eventually in the first 5 minutes, they're like, oh yeah, that's what happened. That's what that is. Okay, so now that you know what it is, you've identified the problem. Now what you going to do? How are you going to go about transmuting, clearing? What you going to do? You going to keep talking about it over and over and over and over and over again? No, that's not the solution. Name it. Identify it, name it, clear the shit. And I am telling you that anger and rage can help you clear shit quickly. Get into it. Don't be afraid. Okay, it's time to get into it. So I hope that this was helpful for somebody today. It was put on my heart to talk about this because Marion. Exactly. Yes. And listen, we're not saying fuck them for good. We're just saying, let me get this layer of it off of me. And then I can be in the phase where I'm like, whoo, shit, that was a load off. Now I can be forgiving. Now I can be loving. Now I can have compassion for them. But it's hard to push into compassion and love when you got a thick layer of anger and rage sitting on top of you. No, Tina, it is not a one-time process. No, ma'am. It is an everyday process, you know. And I'm here to say you have to balance the shadow dark work with light. So after you do your shadow work, then come back in and sweep it with some lighter, happier, more joyful feelings. That's what hypnosis does. When I'm doing hypnotherapy sessions, that's what I'm doing. We're going into the dark, deep depths of the bullshit and the muck. We're going into doing that shadow work, and then we lighten it up like, yay. So when you come out, you're like, yay, I feel great. Awesome. I feel light and fluffy and good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you to stay there in the darkness. No, I'm saying, but before you can get to that airy, light, fluffy, marshmallowy, unicorny feeling, you're going to have to get rid of that layer of shit, that layer of anger. You know what I'm saying? And when I say shit is used to grow seeds. It's a fertilizer. You understand? Anger, rage, sadness is fucking fertilizer. Depression is a fucking fertilizer. If you know how to use the energy. Share this video, y'all. Tag your friends. Not many people are going to tell you to fuck your mother and your father. Not many people are going to say that. But until you can, your belief systems and your behaviors from your childhood are going to show up over and over and over again. They're going to repeat themselves over and over and over again. Okay? And in order for you to be a healthy vessel for your own children, you have got to take care of the inner child inside of you. That little girl, that little boy couldn't say, fuck you, mommy, fuck you, daddy. Well, shit, nowadays the kids are saying it, right? But I know when I was growing up, I couldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I couldn't do that. Even to this day, I don't cuss around my mother. I almost let the word shit slip out of my mouth the other day, and I didn't even get the S part out. And she was like, what you about to say? I was like, nothing. I didn't say it. She was like, okay, now I don't care how old you are. Don't be cussing around me. I was like, I know, Mom. I know. I don't cuss in front of my mother or my family. And I am 42 years old. I don't cuss in front of them. That's just the way I was raised. I was raised with a Southern family. We don't do that. These kids today be cussing in front of their parents and all that. I don't call them by their first name and shit. I don't know what that is. I still say ma'am and sir. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I was raised. But what I'm saying is that little girl inside of me that couldn't say, fuck you, Mom, fuck you, Dad, right? Held all that shit in. Just suppressed it, suppressed it, suppressed it, suppressed it. Right? All the way until I was a full adult. And you know when it would come out? You know when it would come out? When I would get in a relationship, right? And that person would do something that I didn't like. And I'm very spoiled. So if something didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I would lash out at them. You know what I'm saying? I give them all that anger, all that rage that I had from my parents. I gave it to them. And they were just like, what's wrong? Like, we ain't even, this ain't even a big deal. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even doing. And it wasn't like I was being cheated on or abused or mistreated or none of that. I never had those types of relationships, right? Not that I know of, you know what I'm saying? If anything, I was the one out here doing it because guess what? I had codependency issues. I had a lot of anger, a lot of rage towards my parents. So the way I would deal with my insecurities is going out and cheating and lashing out, right? Being a total bitch. Okay? Misplaced anger, misdirected anger, right? So I'm hoping that this is eye-opening for somebody. And the next time you feel yourself getting ready to attack your partner or your child, or your boss says something, an authority figure says something that rubs you the wrong way, okay? And it makes you really, really angry. I want you to think about, why is this making me so angry? Why is this having such a big effect on me? Sorry, my assistant is texting me right now. I'm going to answer it back in a minute. Okay? Why is this bothering me so much? Why am I having trouble with my finances? You know what I mean? Why am I feeling like I'm not getting my needs met? Why am I afraid that I won't have enough? Why do I feel like I'm being attacked all the time? Why do I feel like somebody's always coming for me? Somebody's always throwing at me. Why do I feel that somebody's always, trying to do something to me? Why am I taking people's posts on Facebook and social media personally? Why do I think they're talking about me? Why is it hard for me to trust people? Why don't I like women? Why don't I like being in groups of women? Why did I start off liking boys and now I don't like boys anymore? Why don't I like my body? Why don't I like my face? Why don't I like my hair, my skin color? Why is it hard for me to drop this weight and keep it off? We are living in a time where it does not benefit you to stay stuck where you're at. It does not benefit you to not confront the shit that keeps coming up. Because let me tell you something. If it's something that you've been dealing with for years, you're in a pattern. You're stuck in a loop. And you haven't broken the cycle yet. You haven't interrupted the pattern yet. And 9 times out of 10, you haven't interrupted the pattern because you're not doing anything different. You're saying your affirmations, you're lighting your candles, you're meditating, you're praying, you're calling upon these different energies and deities to assist you with X, Y, and Z. But when you get information, are they telling you to do something? Are they giving you instructions? Because when I'm tapping into these energies, they tell me what to do and I do it and I get results, right? Why is it hard to trust yourself? Why can't you hear the voice of your inner guidance? Or do you hear it and you don't trust that that's what it is, and so you just discount it and, I can't hear it, I can't tap in, I don't know what's wrong with me. Why? Tina, that's the time to go and speak with somebody. You have to, and in asking that question, even if the exact answer doesn't come up, what you've activated that part of your brain that wants to figure out the problem. And if you can't quite figure it out, that's the time for you to go seek assistance. That's the time for you to go work with a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Work with a hypnotherapist, a coach, somebody who's going to assist you and ask you the right questions. Somebody's going to ask you the right questions to get you to a point where you understand where it comes from, or they can help to start pulling apart certain layers so that the answer is now revealed to you. When I don't know the answer to something, I call my mentor. I set up a session with my mentor, or I go see my hypnotherapist. That's what I do. If I've been working on something for a very long time, I'm like, I don't really know how to break through this. Because I have those moments. I have times like that where I'm like, ooh, I know I got the tools and I know how to do this. But sometimes you need outside help. Even though you know what you know, right? You need outside help. That's why I have a mentor. That's why I have a coach. That's why I have a hypnotherapist and a regular therapist that I trust, that I know will help me get to the root of the problem. I'm not going to them for them to fix the problem. I'm going to them to get a different perspective because I'm too close to it. I'm too high up on it. I'm there to get a different perspective. 9 times out of 10, what they tell me to do, I'm like, yeah, I know. Because that's what I would tell my clients to do. But I feel like that $500, that $200, that $1,000 is worth me investing just to either receive confirmation of what I already know to do, or to be reminded of something that I forgot about. But I'm not going to them to fix me and heal me. I'm going to them to say, hey, I'm stumped on this and I need some help with this, Even if they just say, well, what would you do if you was talking to a client and they were going through it? And I sit there and talk myself through it, and it's worth the money. It's worth it. Okay? But the first step is to ask yourself the questions. Ask yourself so then you can be guided by your higher self, your higher awareness, your inner guidance, your oversoul, whatever you want to call it. The Lord thy God, which is you. It ain't nothing outside of you. It is you. Okay? The Lord is the source, the all of creation, the law of life. That's what the Lord means. God is creator, which is you. Okay? So whatever you want to call that energy, you're tapping into you for the answer. Even if the answer is go over here and talk to this person. You know what I'm saying? Even if the answer is go on and book a session or find you a therapist or find somebody that can help you with this. Because sometimes that is the answer. But first, say fuck your mother and your father. Try that first. And see where that leads you. Yeah, Tina, and it's okay to feel powerless sometimes. It ain't nothing wrong with that. We are human beings, you know what I mean? We know what we know, but shit, it's okay to get to a space where you need help. We all need help. I don't know everything. I really don't. I don't claim to know everything. I'm grateful that I have people around me who are smarter than me or who know more than me, right? Or who have they've been where I've been. I like to be around people who know more than me, have more than me. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm on my path and I hit a bump, they already been through that bump. So I'm going to hit them up like, yo, what did you do when this happened? And it's okay to feel powerless sometimes. It's in the powerlessness that you reclaim your power, that you're able to tap back into the power. Because when you know you're out of the station of your power, so you feel that disassociation from it, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not standing in my power right now. That is power. To know that you're not standing in your power, that's power, because now you know you got to do something to pull yourself back to that station. Okay, I'm doing too much now. So I love y'all. I hope y'all are having a fabulous Sunday. On 11/11, we are doing the DNA restoration and protection ritual. It is happening at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you have not signed up for it, go on over to the Mind Magic Institute. Sign up for that. Also, the Mind Magic Library membership is now active. You can pay $33.33 per month to get access to all of the teachings that I have done over the years, plus new stuff that's going to be added, plus exclusive stuff that's going to be added. Sometimes I'm going to be putting stuff in there that you will not find on the internets, okay? So there's going to be stuff on there because there's things that I want to talk about that I can't really talk about without risking being thrown in Facebook jail or being shadow banned. So there's going to be things that I'm talking about in that membership group. So I highly recommend that y'all get up in there. We've already started uploading new material. So get on in there. If you have the old library that you paid $97 for, you will continue to have access to that library, but that library will not be updated, okay, with new information. The membership library encompasses the old library plus is going to have all of the new stuff that's being updated from now moving forward. Okay, so you can find all of that at mymagicinstitute.thinkific.com. I put the link in here somewhere, I think. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. All right, I love y'all. Have a fabulous Sunday. I'll see you guys on Thursday, November 11th, for the ritual. The cutoff time to sign up for the ritual is on November 10th because I need time to get everybody's names in the ritual. I'm already pushing energy into the ritual now. And I'm going to be having everything set up the night before. Okay. So, because we're doing it in the morning. All right. So the cutoff time is November 10th. If you want to be in on that ritual, I highly recommend that you just go ahead and get in on it now. It's only $37. All right. I love y'all. Bye. Happy Sunday.